He's 55. He signs the divorce papers. He walks out the door, and he never looks back. Not because he's running away, because he's finally free. Today, I'm breaking down why men over 50 walk away from marriage and never look back. And if you're wondering why so many men are making this choice, you're about to understand. Let's get into it. Reason number 1. He realizes half his life is gone, and he's spent most of it unhappy. When you're younger, you think you have unlimited time. You tell yourself things will get better. You convince yourself to be patient. But when you hit 50, you do the math. If you're lucky, you have maybe 30 years left, maybe less. And you look back and realize you've spent 20 or 30 years in a marriage that made you miserable. Years of arguments, years of being criticized, years of working to make her happy while your own happiness never mattered. And something clicks. You realize you don't have another 20 years to waste. So you walk away, not with anger, with clarity. Because staying means dying unhappy, and leaving means you might actually enjoy what's left. Reason number 2. He's tired of being an ATM with no appreciation. For decades, he worked, he provided, he made sure the bills were paid, the house was maintained, the family had what they needed, and he got zero appreciation for it. She spent the money he earned like it was nothing. Complained when he worked too much. Complained when he didn't make enough. Treated his paycheck like her right instead of his effort. And he's done. He's done funding a lifestyle for someone who doesn't even respect him. So he walks away. And suddenly his money is his again. He spends it on what he wants. He enjoys it. And for the first time in decades, he's not resentful about his own paycheck. Reason number 3. The kids are grown and there's no reason to stay anymore. This is the big one. Most men over 50 stayed in unhappy marriages for one reason: the kids. They didn't want to disrupt their children's lives. They didn't want to be weekend dads. They didn't want to cause pain. So they stayed. They endured. They sacrificed their own happiness for their kids' stability. But now the kids are adults. They're out of the house. They have their own lives. And suddenly, the only reason he was staying is gone. So he leaves. Because he kept his promise. He was there for his kids, but he doesn't owe anyone his misery once they're grown. Reason number 4. He's exhausted from being blamed for everything. Nothing he did was ever enough. If she was unhappy, it was his fault. If the marriage had problems, he wasn't trying hard enough. If she gained weight, he wasn't supportive enough. If she was stressed, he should have done more. Every problem in the marriage somehow became his responsibility to fix, even the problems she created. And he's tired. Tired of being the villain. Tired of being criticized. Tired of walking on eggshells. So he walks away, and the weight lifts. Because he's no longer responsible for someone else's unhappiness. Reason number 5. He watched the divorce destroy his friends, and he'd rather control the exit. Men over 50 have seen divorces up close. Their friends, their brothers, their coworkers, and they've watched good men get destroyed, lose their houses, lose their savings, lose access to their kids. They've seen the devastation, and they realize something. If this marriage is going to end anyway, and statistics say it probably will, he'd rather be the one who decides when and how, so he doesn't wait for her to file. He doesn't wait for her to cheat or leave. He exits on his terms, with a plan, with his assets protected as much as possible, because he's learned that waiting only makes it worse. Reason number 6. He's discovered he's happier alone. This one surprises most people. They think men who leave are running towards something. Another woman, a new life. But most men over 50 who walk away aren't running to anything. They're just walking away from misery. And they discover something powerful. Being alone is peaceful. He wakes up without stress. He does what he wants, when he wants. He doesn't have to justify his choices. He doesn't have to manage someone else's emotions. He just lives. And it's better. Not perfect, but better than being in a marriage that felt like a prison. So he never looks back, because going back means returning to misery, and he's finally free. Reason number 7. He realizes she checked out years ago, and he was the only one trying. This is the breaking point for most men. He looks at his marriage honestly and sees the truth. She stopped trying years ago, stopped being affectionate, stopped caring about his needs, stopped contributing to the relationship. But he kept trying. He kept making efforts. He kept hoping things would improve, until one day he realizes he's been in a one-person marriage, and he's exhausted from being the only one who cares. So he stops. He walks away, and he never looks back. Because you can't save a marriage when you're the only one fighting for it. Now here's what people don't understand about men over 50 who walk away from marriage. They're not giving up. They're choosing themselves for the first time in decades. They spent most of their adult lives putting everyone else first. Their wives, their kids, their jobs. They delayed their own happiness, thinking it was the right thing to do, and it destroyed them. So when they finally walk away, it's not weakness, it's survival. They're saving what's left of their lives. They're protecting their peace. They're refusing to die miserable just to maintain appearances. And they never look back because they know the truth. There's nothing worth going back to. Just more years of the same misery they already endured. So they move forward. They build new lives. They find peace. And they finally, after decades, put themselves first. If this resonated with you, drop a comment below. And if you want more honest content about men, relationships, and choosing yourself, hit that subscribe button. I'll see you in the next one.